Julian Castro is the former mayor of San Antonio, also former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under President Obama, a 2020 presidential candidate, and he joins me now. Julian, how are things in your hometown of San Antonio right now?
Well, I think what you talked about reflects the way things are going down here in San Antonio. A lot of people still without power, a lot of people without water. Because of the cold weather, many of the old pipes have burst, and that's caused this cascading effect. No power, no water. Folks, because stores are closed and grocery stores have very long lines, people are not able to get their medication. Seniors here have had to be evacuated to a warming center downtown, and they're talking about opening up other ones because it's supposed to freeze again overnight. You have a lot of people, especially the most vulnerable folks in this community, under a lot of stress.
You know, you just mentioned seniors, and I've been thinking a lot about them and sort of talking to folks throughout the last 24 hours. In the famous heat wave in Chicago that killed, 800 plus people, it was mostly seniors who were living alone who were caught in that heat wave. And are there systems in place to check on seniors who are living alone under these conditions and get them to safety and warmth?
There's some, but Chris, the way that a lot of folks, I think, have had their attention called to this has been through social media. Somebody will say that my grandmother is stuck in her house. She needs her insulin. She doesn't have power. She doesn't have water. Or a neighbor will call another neighbor. I heard from two of my neighbors who were medically compromised that needed to be evacuated to a hotel because they no longer had power. And this is becoming the worst state-level policy disaster since the Flint water crisis. And as you pointed out, we have state leadership, Governor Abbott, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, that want to point fingers to everything except the problem. For the last few decades, they have been the problem. This is not the breakdown of the system. This is a system that is broken down by design. It's designed not to incentivize weatherization of these facilities. It's designed not to incentivize being prepared for a cold weather event like this. And on top of that, a lot of people are probably going to get the highest electricity bill that they've ever had when this is done, even though they don't have power right now, because the way that the system that ERCOT runs allows for price spikes that are absolutely through the roof, more than 300% over the last few days. And so this is just the beginning of this human level disaster and an economic disaster for a lot of families.
Yeah, someone posted today, said a friend of a friend had gotten this bill, and they posted a screenshot of a bill, which was $1,622.14 for 2 weeks of power, which is wild.
Yeah.
When you talk about this state failure, I mean, we've got news tonight. There's some FEMA activation happening. There's some generators being rolled out by the federal government. Texas is a state that is obviously historically, famously, and fiercely independent. It was its own republic. Is there a federal role here? I mean, I'm looking at the weather forecast. I'm hearing the stories. You've got this potable water situation now, which has been produced by this tripwire, you say. 2 or 3 more days of freezing temperatures. Something's got to give here, right? Should there be more federal involvement?
Oh, I hope there is, and I think there will be. You already saw how promptly the Biden administration approved a declaration of emergency for the state. Look, the thing is, 7 million Texans right now are on a boil water notice, and a lot of them are wondering, how are we supposed to boil our water when we don't have electricity? And not only that, how are you supposed to boil your water when a lot of them don't have running water? These state leaders basically want you to go out there and collect the melting snow in a bucket and put that over a campfire at your home. It's these Neanderthalic policies and the greed that has driven them. That means the federal government is actually right now our best hope to get some relief. How do they do that? Well, the emergency declaration was a good start. Expertise that can help get the grid back online as quickly as possible. On top of that, emergency aid to people who need immediate housing at hotels and other places, people who are homeless right now, the most vulnerable people out there. And in the long term, helping to rebuild a grid that is more reliable and put the reliability back into ERCOT so that it actually means something for the people of Texas. the other thing in the long run is that we need different leadership in this state that's actually, that actually believes in governance. Don't ever put people who don't believe in government in charge of government. This is another example of that. It's playing itself out, unfortunately, right in front of people's eyes.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.